There's a doll that's been lurking around, made of hay and straw and a slave's blood too. It's possessed by a spirit malevolent and true. Mr. Marble's an evil slave doll, brings terror those who dare to crawl. Was created to seek revenge, and he won't stop until the bitter end. The slave who made him, well, he was wrong. Yeah, the spirit in the dawn, well, he was strong. Now he seeks revenge on the slave owner's kin. Yeah, his wrath as a curse.
Ornamaz, man. We're back on the New Mexico Radio Talk Show.com. We got Gigi La Chicana Guerrero from Hijas y Desveladas. We got Mel and Brego from San Antonio, Texas. We got Mission, Texas in the house. We got our New Mexico Radio Talk Show crew in the house with us on the beautiful talk show, man. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Roku TV as we speak. We want to welcome in everybody, man. We want to give a big welcoming in to all our proud sponsors, TJF Talent Studios and Hen Dog Promotions and La Huerta Promotions, and also Hen Dog Entertainment. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in, ladies.
Well, hello. Good evening.
How's y'all's evening going? It's Tuesday, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Let's
Hopefully,
call it let's call it a pre-Thanksgiving. We like 2 days away from Turkey Day, so
hey, I'm ready for some stuffing. I'm ready for some turkey. I'm ready for some gravy. A la máquina.
I haven't even gone shopping. Like I went to the grocery store, I walked in, and I walked
There's
straight
no more
out.
biscuits in case you're looking for some. There's no more.
No, no briskets. No. My business is really in the swing right now, so I'm gonna try to look at a turkey tomorrow. So
Good.
hopefully he'll be forgiving and I can find one. But oh well.
Saludos from Gigi La Chicana Guerrero here in Mission, Texas, host of Giras y Desveladas and president of the Tejana Music Legacy Foundation. Thank you, Hen Dog, for inviting me again. I'm excited to hear about your guest today and on your lovely show. And saludos to everybody.
Oh yeah, we got a talented guest, man. This guy has been around long time, man. This guy's a film actor. He's been around long time. I think since around the '90s or so. And I'm gonna let him tell us a little bit about his story. And this guy, he's got a movie premiere going down, I believe, December the 7th, man, at City Base Cinema. We're gonna find out all the story about that, man. We get to Polly get to play you a little bit of sneak peek of that trailer, if it's okay with the guy
And
himself. I
and
want to
please
welcome
let it
in.
say that it's City Based Cinema in San Antonio, Texas. So yours truly should be there as well.
Oh, man, Mel, lucky
I
Mel.
know, I get girl. Believe me, my weekend was a little exciting, but I owe New Mexico Radio Talk Show fans some clips, and I will be posting those as soon as
Exactly. I
well.
want to welcome in all the way from San Antonio, man. This guy is talented. This guy is a bad A film director. He does it all, man. Very professional. Want to welcome in Keek Suki to the New Mexico Radio Talk Show. What's going on, Kiki?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're not just only an actor, but you're also direct film, and you're so busy, man, and you're able to take some time out of your busy schedule, and you're able to tell us a little bit about yourself, and also a little bit about what you got going on in a few days.
Um, Welcome, everybody. Thank you for having me. My name is Keek Suki. I'm an actor from the Garden of Kauai, but I've also lived in San Antonio, so a duality of Texas and Hawaii. I am a Cherokee, Hawaiian, Japanese actor, and I've been in over 60 productions in my time of acting. Um, my recent film that's out on Amazon Prime at this moment is called Don't Break the Rules. That's my first leading role in a film. So if you like scary movies, definitely check that one out. And December 7th at City Base Cinemas, we will be having my first directorial debut of this amazing person next to me called Mr. Marvels.
Wow. Okay, so it's a scary movie. I I have to watch them while I'm like persinándome.
Well, I tell you what, I'm a really big fan of old school um, horror films. So like Twilight Zone and Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Ooh.
So like it's more in that type of genre. I basically code it to, Tales from the Crypts meets Twilight Zone meets Goosebumps.
Exactly.
Oh well, that's okay. Maybe I can handle that.
Yeah, I wanted to make it more family friendly. I appreciate gore and those jump scares, but I also appreciate true horror of having the story dictate the passion of the film. So that was my goal with this film, was to put out something that everybody could watch.
Now, Japanese, Hawaiian, and Cherokee. Wow. Wow. And so talk to us about that background. That's got to be make for an interesting classroom discussion.
Well, it's actually kind of crazy because my mom is from Sallisaw, Oklahoma, and she was born on the Cherokee Reservation out there. My dad's from Hawaii. Back in the heyday, my mom was a go-go dancer, and she used to dance in the bars with the high boots and the Austin Powers style dancing. And my dad was building he was one of the contractors for the Hilton in Oklahoma, and she was working at the bar, and they met at the bar, and I created me.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I would say this a little bit. If you wouldn't have stated all your background there, like your movie has a little like San Antonio Cucuy La Llorona twist in there.
Yeah.
But great story. I being in that you're in San Antonio, like, did you use some San Antonio areas to kind of do your filming?
Yeah, we did. We filmed majority of the film in San Antonio and then a little bit in New Braunfels. We got blessed with a horse rescue ranch out there, so we filmed some of the slave scenes out there. And yeah, we use San Antonio actors. We have like 4 actors from Houston that came down and worked with us. So everybody's essentially Texas-based actors. And I try to keep it in-house in Texas when I film, unless, we have somebody coming in from out of town that's a celebrity or somebody. But for the most part, I try to use local talent.
Yes, I hear. Well, I saw a little bit of JJ Fernandez, which is a great friend of this show, great
Yes.
personality, him and his wife as well. So I do want to say kudos to you and to them as well, because they're very well known in the San Antonio community as well. Um, so what point of filming? How long did it take you to film? First of all, before I ask that question.
So honestly, so we started this project um, from beginning to end of the principal photography. We probably did a month, but then I added a scene to it, so that was kind of stretched out. But total production from beginning to end with the editing and the sound, it took us about a year.
Oh wow. I would
Yeah.
say this. I've learned a lot. And we work with all kinds of diverse cultures, and San Antonio's mixed, and of course you have your end as well. But did you coming into any type of, not criticism, but like, can I do this? Can I not do this? Because is it cultural okay? Is it religious okay? Did you get to any of those points with that, with your movie?
Honestly, no. And the reason why I say that, because when starting from the very beginning, I found this doll. I saw this doll, and when I saw this doll, I was like, "My God, this thing has so much character." It reminded me of Chucky. It reminded me of Annabelle. It was like this doll has its own life to it. And when I manifested the story, put the story together, I pitched it to my executive producer, and he was like, "You know what? Let's do it." And within that first week, we got the horse rescue, and we were filming that first week once we got the doll, and it just kind of snowball effect at right after that. And it was just like shoot after shoot after shoot, and everything fell together. And I've never worked on a film where it was like it was meant to happen. And when we shot the slave scenes, I literally had a big group meeting with all the actors, and I was like, look, we are, especially the time we are in right now with so much cultural division, with the media just hyper inflating everything and saying, oh, you're this color, you're this color,
Right.
instead of us all being human beings and just coming together,
Of course.
we have all this division, which is unnecessary. So I was like, look, at any time when we're filming, please, please, if you need a break, you need to stop, please tell me, because I know how sensitive this time frame is in life. And honestly, we are all professional. Everybody showed love to each other on set. There was no diversity, there's no division, and we knocked it out of the park. And that's why I'm so pumped to present this to the world, because we put together a timepiece that in 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 my mindset, I haven't seen a timepiece like this since Danjango.
Oh wow. What would you say would be the lowest point throughout that year for you when it came to the film?
Uh, Not getting it out fast enough. We had a little bit of issues with the editing
Okay.
process. We literally were under contract for 3 months, and that 3 months, because of COVID and the editor keep getting sick, it pushed us back a year, and it really, I was getting really frustrated because as they say, sometimes I feel like everybody's okay with me being an actor, but when it comes to me stepping on toes and stepping into the directorial world, now it's like, oh well, I'm not sure if we want this guy to be, doing what we do,
Of
so
course.
to speak. And that might be me a little bit in my head. At the same token, when you get the the dragging of the feet, so to speak, in multiple directions, it's kind of hard not to feel that way.
Right. So we hit the low point. So what was the fun point? What was the aha blowout moment? Give it to us.
When I got to see the preview at the theater, watching it on the big screen, and actually seeing, there were so many little minute things that, um, when you're watching it on your phone or you're watching it on your home TV, you don't get to see. But when you see it on the big screen, it opens it up so much, and you just see those little nuances when you're behind the camera. Because I did the cinematography myself.
Wow.
I wrote, I directed it, and I had a couple of secondary camera guys, but I did 90% of the photography, cinematography myself. So I really, there were certain things that I had even forgot that I had shot, and when I saw it on the big screen, I was just like, wow, okay, now I remember that moment. Okay, now I know I was shooting in this certain direction, um, and shooting the frames the way that I shot them. So it was pretty neat to see the evolution of that come to fruition on the big screen.
That's neat. I say as I design certain things and I have a small business, but I say I think my worst critic is myself. So I kind of can hear that in you as well. Like, you're like, oh my God, what was I thinking? And then you're like, no, it's all right. It's okay, move type of thing. So kudos
Well,
to
that's
you.
the thing, right? As an artist and as a creator, we want to give the best product we can to the audience. And like, the only person we feel like we fail at the end of the day is not just ourselves, but we fail the cast and crew when we can't get the shot the way that it should be directed. So like it's amazing to see, like I said, the whole cast and crew come together to pull off this amazing project. It was such a magnificent thing to see at the end of the day.
I do want to ask, did you have any like blooper moments? Can we see any of that? Like, at the premiere? Are you gonna
We
show us
did,
a
but
little later?
honestly, I didn't put any. I was going to, but then like when blooper moments are one of those things where it's like, do you really want to put that in there? Because it does take away from some people's professionalism
Oh
in an
yeah.
aspect, because like the audience wants to know that everybody's flawless when they're acting. you know. And then
Right.
when you put in those moments of dismay or discomfort, and especially when we are talking about sensitive situations like we are
Exactly.
in part of this film, it just I was like I was torn a little bit. There was a couple moments that were kind of funny, but then when you shot something 12 times, you're just like, yeah, no, I don't want to shoot this again, and I don't want to see this again.
Yeah.
There was one scene in particular I actually had to cut the actor. He just couldn't deliver the line that I wanted, and I was like, "Did you not read the script before you got on set? Like, this. There's a certain delivery I need from this, and I can only, as a director, deliver it a couple times before it's like, okay, we're done. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Because the shoot day, you're on a time frame, so you can't sit there and play that game of, oh, did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? You just got to keep moving.
Was he my age? Because I do that. I forget.
Hey, I'm a little there too,
What
honey.
was I
I'm
gonna
from.
say? What did you say? What was I? What was? Sorry. I have a question. Now my daughter lives in Austin, and they've been calling Austin the new Hollywood. So you filmed in San Antonio. What was what was the decision making process there?
It was more locations. I had a lot of opportunities to land some really good locations in San Antonio. We filmed at the Haunted Doll Museum off of Vance Jackson, and I know the owner really well. We've known each other for years, and that was one of the principal places that we shot. Another we shot at this mansion that was a friend of mine's. She's actually one of the actresses that's in the film. So yeah, we got some really nice locations, and then again the other location we were in New Braunfels, on two separate locations in New Braunfels. So like we really got some really good opportunities to have places that we could have total control. Because if you know anything about film, one of the biggest mishaps in film is not having control of your location. You get to the location, the owners don't want to cooperate. There's too much sound going on. There's too many obstacles, and it just doesn't come out the right way. And we were blessed to have great locations for the shoot.
I was actually an extra in Miss Congeniality, and it was filmed there in Austin. And I come out for like maybe half a second and blink, you miss it. But it was an experience, and you're right. They actually had to announce every day, okay, avoid this road and this road because Sandra Bullock is filming in downtown this street and these streets. So that I hadn't thought of that, but that's actually the logistics of having your space available for a shooting is pretty.
Right.
Yeah, I stood in that line for 4 hours to be an extra in that film back in the day, and
Were
yeah,
you
I
too?
didn't get on.
No. Yeah, that was cool though. Did you get the sack lunch also? The sack
Well,
lunch?
what happened was I ended up doing that. We did the audition for that. And then right after that, they did Come and Take It. No, what was the film? It was with Eddie Griffin, and it was in Bobcat Stadium. But it was another Hollywood film, and I went out there and did that film instead. So I
Oh.
was just like, oh, forget it. I'm not going to do Mr. Geniality. I'll go do this other film.
No, but that was a great experience. And how are you like I tell you, I was an extra, and so we had a sack lunch. What how for your extras? Did you give them a sack lunch? Did you
Yeah,
feed
so
them?
I'll always provide craft services whenever I do my filming. I'm pretty much, we don't have a lot when we're on set as force with like a lot of people and hands on deck. So I do a lot of that myself whenever I'm getting things together with production, especially like I have my own equipment. So everything's pretty much on my shoulders. I do all the planning, the setting up, getting everybody on set, casting calls. I pretty much cover all the bases to that. And it's just because I've been in the business so long, I kind of know all the avenues. So it's a little bit easier when I kind of like grab onto the reins of everything and just kind of tackle it.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm over here in the Rio Grande Valley, and we have the South Texas Film Festival, which recently ran maybe about a month or two ago. And honestly, I was putting the flyers together as far as what the movies, and there was some. I mean, they were just so interesting. Are you planning to get your movie out there to the film festivals?
I've thought about it. I'm honestly, it's a yes and no. The reason being is because if we sell the film, then it won't. It's not. They won't allow it to go to film festivals. It'll directly go to distribution. So right after this, we're gonna start pitching the pitch deck out, seeing what takers we get, because I'm really trying to get in advance for my next film to try to do the spinoff of this to keep myself moving with production, because I really do think that this is a good enough concept to push in 3 films out of this at least.
Are we gonna get to see it down here in the RGV if you get it going?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
And
I
that's
know.
the thing is my goal is to get it to somebody that's gratis veritas, or somebody that can actually put it out there, A24, or somebody that can really get the film some traction. That would be the honest to God goal with it. So we'll see.
Well, we try to make things happen. So hopefully we have somebody listening out there that can hear you right now at this point, Kiki, because we do tend to make things happen. So you'd be surprised. Um,
Well, as native filmmakers, we need to get our respect.
Well, we got a few
yes.
shout outs we'd like to give out here, man. We got a few shout outs. We got coming soon podcast out there, man. We got a shout out to them out there. Coming soon podcast. Also, we
Mario,
got Jenny and Soto checking in. We got our moderator Rita Castillo. Rita Castillo checking out all the way from California, checking in with us.
California.
We also got Rick Phoenix Monzano checking in with us también. We also got Paul and Jessica, which is our managers, checking in with us all the way from Arizona. We also got the owners of the station of the podcast, which is my mom and dad. They're checking in with us as well. We also got everybody checking in with us from all over, man. San Antonio, Corpus Christi, the RGV, Mission, Texas, Roswell. We got everybody checking in with us with Kiki Suki, man. Kiki Suki's been around the business a long time. Good friend of mine. What's going on, Kiki? You're doing your thing out there, brother.
well, I got to give a shout out to my cousin Jonathan and Chrissy E for introducing me to you. So, if it wasn't for them, then I wouldn't even be here now. So, shouts out to my cousin. Aloha.
Right? I think it's the Aloha, right?
Yeah, Shaka.
That's the correct way.
I was let's see, what was it last year in Hawaii, and what was that word I kept wanting to say? The words don't come out. They like, and the streets. I was trying to tell my daughter I'm in street. It was like all the alphabet all in one. It's very hard to say those Hawaiian words.
Well,
So
I got a funny story. I have a friend that came up to me and he was like, "Hey, man, I can speak Hawaiian." I go, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, I know the word for trash can. It's mahalo." And
that
I'm
one.
like, yeah, mahalo doesn't mean trash can."
Thank you, right? Is it thank
Yeah,
you?
it's thanks
Mahalo.
you and
That's
goodbye. Yeah,
I
it's a
couldn't get it.
universal. Yeah.
Mahalo. Yeah, mahalo.
It's funny because when I first was moving up here from Hawaii with my dad, and I was living here with my mom, we speak pidgin, and when we speak in pidgin, it's broken English. It's its own language. So we say things that are it's a broken form of speaking. So when I used to say mahalo to people, people thought I was calling them a mohau. So I would get so much flack for saying mahalo to
Yeah,
people.
that could
So I
get you
just
in
stopped saying
trouble.
it.
What were you saying too?
Hey, you with the hair. That's how you just stomp it off. So, we do interview a lot of artists. Did you use any musical artists or any type of music genres in your film? I'm not yet
Uh,
seen it, so.
we did. We used one of the actors. His name is Chris Todd from Houston. We have 4 representatives from Houston on the film. Ali Pignon, she was in Tamale Season. Um, she was in a couple other films that we've done. American Alien, um, Josh Perry, and then JJ Fernandez. But Chris Todd did the song for Mr. Marbles for me. I was like, "Hey, I know you make music. Could you make a song, the theme song for it?" And within like 4 hours, he calls me back and says, "Here, check this out. What do you think?" So the song that you heard in the opening of the show was done by Chris Todd as one of the main actors in the film.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Any special or one of your favorite parts in the film that we should look out
Um,
for, especially when I get there on December 7th?
I would love to tell you, but you got to come see the film because I don't want to ruin it.
Okay, well, I will be there. You will meet me in person December the 7th.
Awesome. Thank you for coming out.
No, no. I live in the beautiful town of San Antonio, Texas. Like, and we have the pleasure of having so many events and stuff. I feel like I
Yeah.
walk in and I just film and I get out and I walk in and I go on to the next one. But I'm excited. I know some of my other co-hosts will be joining me as well, so we'll be able to
San
meet you.
Antonio is blossoming. I've been here. I moved up here in '86 with my mom and my stepfather. And then I was back and forth between Hawaii and here. Then I officially moved up here in '94. And so like I've seen San Antonio grow through the years.
It sure
I've
has.
been in the business out here in the entertainment business for a long time. I've worked out here for a long time. And it's been a beautiful thing to see the city blossom the way that it has, you know.
It
And it's
is.
like I think back to like when I don't know if you remember when they had the BLM riots, and people started trying to go downtown and mess up San Antonio, and all of San Antonio stood up. They were like, "No, we're not having that." And people went and defended the city, and that's just such a beautiful thing when you see people that love our city so much that they're willing to fight for it, and that's a great thing.
Yes, it is. It's a lot of culture here in San Antonio. If and I know that you stated earlier, there might be a sequel to this. So are you gonna still stay in San Antonio with it, or you just gonna base it in Texas type of thing?
So our spinoff, we're looking to keep some of the cast that we have in it. We're going to be recasting. I did make a statement on Rita Hernandez's show earlier that if you show up to the red carpet, I'm going to be scouting that night for doll maker. So I'm be looking out, and I'm going to add in a little bit of the Latino flavor to the doll maker, and bringing in another side of the Hispanic culture to this next film, and I'm looking forward to kind of bringing that into it because it's going to give a little bit more vibrance and a different flavor to the next film.
Go Mel.
I'll be there already. But we got Veronica Chapa. That's a popping, and she's also an artist as well. So you know, go Veronica. I'm pimping you out, girl.
Well, we have a local San Antonio actress that's in the film as well, Stormy Lopez. She's been in a lot of films here in San Antonio, and she's a solid representative of San Antonio in the film community,
Great.
especially for the Latinas.
I have to mention, I honestly had, I'm going to be honest, I had not heard of you before, but that doesn't mean much because I was a first grade teacher in elementary, basically under a rock. Um, so I started, so I started looking you up, and you have a lot of different looks. Like the guy I'm seeing right now is not the guy that I saw like on several other videos. So what is there a particular, is this like your natural look, or this is the look for the film, or you're just going through what's the deal? Because you, I mean, like entirely different.
Yeah, so I have a film coming up that I'm going to be doing. Shots out to Steve Hartfeld, Brothers Keeper. It's a series, so I'm getting prepped for that role. So usually, whenever I change my character or change my look, it's for another production. Um, I try to pride myself on that, you know, as an actor, to be able to be a chameleon, to see different looks and try to find different ways to be seen on camera so you're not just kind of the same old typical, you know, no offense to Dwayne Johnston or The Rock, but you know, you see him in one film, you see him in every single film the same way. And I just don't want to be that actor. I want to be able to kind of be molded like putty whenever I
Exactly.
do different films, and that way I can be cast in multiple different roles instead of it just being stereotyped into one thing.
Oh, you achieved that because you've got the long hair trenzas one, and you've got the peso pluma type of thing going on, and then right now you've got the Joe Coy look. So yeah, you've achieved it. Good job.
It's one of those things in the industry. It's good to be adaptable, and you bring more money, more looks to the table when you can be flexible. So I try to be as flexible as I can, and it just helps with my profession.
Yeah, I can see that where it would be more to your advantage instead of just looking the same. How boring anyway, right?
No, of course.
After seeing your movie, what do you want somebody to kind of take away from it? Like, what's the expectancy that you would like to see? Because obviously, you can have, I've trained in my previous and been a supervisor, and I've trained people, and you can train 100 people, and they will take it 100 different ways.
Mhm.
What is the inspiration that you would like for them to take with them?
Um, my biggest takeaway I want from this film is for Mr. Marbles to be actual character, somebody that they can really relate to as a real horror character. Um, you see, the Terrifier right now has now became a new character in the film industry. And I really want Mr. Marbles to be one of those types of characters where people are going to say, okay, I know exactly who that is. They look at the doll, they see the person, they know that there's a backstory behind that. And if I can encapsulate a timepiece like that with this character, then I was successful.
Great. Tyler Perry made Medea, and he had the inspiration, because that was his aunt. And, she came out on the show. Did you have any inspiration from your family or just something that you kind of incorporated into the film?
Um, so I grew up in multiple worlds, like I said, I grew up here in Texas. I grew up partially in Kansas. I grew up partially in Oregon. I was all over the place as a kid. My stepfather was military and my father was a contractor. So I moved around quite a bit. Um, with that being said, I learned history in multiple facets. You go from Texas history to the Cowboys and Indians in Kansas to Hawaiian history with King Kamehameha and Queen Liliuokalani, and then you learn the different types of. I'm just this history buff. I love history, so like it was one of these. I felt after seeing Dan Django, I love Dan Django, but I thought it was a little too graphic, and I wanted to create something that would take you back in time and give you a sense of that without it being so brutal that you wanted to claw your own eyes out or hate people for it. So this is a really nice redemption story without it being like stab you in the neck redemption story.
I'm really intrigued. I really want to watch the movie now.
I want to watch the movie too, man. I wish I could make that flight and that trip and go see it. And I'm looking forward to seeing it soon. And look right here, man. We got the man himself. We got our sponsor of the show, and the man himself is in the house. Mr. JJ Fernandez says, "Go, Mr. Marbles. Let's go, Mr. Marbles." JJ Fernandez is in the house.
Hello,
Well,
Mr.
hello,
JJ.
Mr. JJ Fernandez. Hello to you and your wife as well. And I hope to see you at the premiere. You guys are great, very, very outgoing, very friendly people. I would say this. I'm pretty sure it was awesome to work with JJ because I would say this. I've met him at least twice. So I will say, like, people in the industry sometimes are not very kind or, a certain way. And Mr. JJ Fernandez and his wife are not. I really, really, really enjoy their company. So shout out
So
to
I
them
met
and welcome.
JJ online on Facebook. We were Facebook friends for like a year, and then we ended up doing a commercial, up together commercial in Austin. And when we got on set, we just kind of hit it off and just became boys. He was such a
Yeah.
great guy, and then it just kind of grew from there, and we just started hanging out, and for a while we were little drinking buddies until I stopped drinking, and yeah, we had some good times.
What are the chances? Now, I know my son-in-law is a does camera and stuff, and he told me about 2 years ago we're filming some students in mariachi, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Now it turned into a Netflix. Netflix bought it, going varsity in mariachi, and it's a Netflix movie. How does is that like a goal of yours? Would that be something that's an option for you, or I have no idea about the film industry, so that's a
Well,
that's what
absolutely.
my
The first step is getting Dragon's Eye Media on the map as me being a film director and people accepting the fact that I am a film director now, that I do put out good product. Um, the other thing is, growing from this. Like, this is a stepping stone, and we're using this to kind of skyrocket ourselves to the next production, and hopefully we bring the next production to another level, and just keep growing from there. My goal is to be a true storyteller, to not water down things and be able to really give it to you the way that it's supposed to be, without having to pull punches. Like, my thing with film nowadays is it gets too Hollywoodized. It gets too where it's drowned out, and you I feel like the message in a film is lost nowadays, and I want to bring back that message to films without it going ultra Christian, or going to the dark side too much. I would like to kind of be in that neutral space where you can just enjoy film again.
oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, we got a few comments in the house, man. We got Norma Salazar all the way from Michigan in the house checking in with us. We got George Salazar
Hey,
in the house.
hey,
Got
George.
some musicians in the house. We got Hilda Pena checking in from Killeen, Texas.
Hey,
Hola,
Hilda.
Checking in.
Hilda.
Hola, hola, hola.
I got to see her this weekend too.
We got a lot of people checking in. We got one of our very own hosts checking in with us. We got Mary Ellen Botelos in the house
Mary
saying she's
Ellen.
excited to go check out the premiere
Hello,
as well.
hello.
Mary Ellen, will you be joining me?
I think so.
She probably will be, right?
The more the merry.
Yeah,
My little partner in crime.
that's cool.
Yeah,
So,
so right now they have the tickets on sale. If anybody's interested, they're on citybase.com, and then they're also on fandango.com. And we're going to be having, hopefully, if we sell out that first theater, then they're going to open up a secondary theater so we can expand out.
A la
And
máquina.
that'll give more people a chance to see the film that night. And it is open to the general public. It's not just cast and crew and family, friends. It is open to the general public, so anybody can buy tickets. And you want to come out, meet the cast and crew, walk the red carpet, take pictures with Mr. Marbles because he will be there.
oh,
I highly suggest get your tickets now. That way you can lock in where you want to sit and how you're going to sit.
just looking at the picture behind you, I get the vibe of maybe a voodoo doll, and then you think in the Mexican culture, there's always that thing that the dolls come to life, and then you've got the Llorona. Is this kind of
Uy.
like like a little bit of everything, kind of all mushed together, or I mean,
Well, I will give you the backstory of Mr. Marbles. He, was a slave that got killed by the slave owner, and the slave owner told basically the wife of the slave that you have to collect the hay and put it inside the doll as a representation not to ever betray the slave owner again. So that's basically the backstory of Mr. Marbles himself. He was constructed by Bloody Soaptay, and was basically a symbol to not disrespect the slave owners again. So
I love that. That's a very creative way to get the human element in there, and in a kind of scary way.
yeah.
So the movie premiere will be December the 7th here in San Antonio at City Base Cinema, and kickoff is what on the 7th. But is it airing anywhere else other than in San Antonio?
So we'll be doing our release on the 7th. And then after that, we're talking with the owner. We might do it again in February for Black History Month, but we haven't got a confirmation on that yet. And I would love to be able to show it through the whole month of February to put a representation on that. We'll see what happens. But like I said, my biggest thing after this film gets out, and I allow people to see the first take of it is to get the criticism, the feedback. If I need to add something, if I need to detract something, it's a possibility to fine tune everything and then try to get it to a distribution company and sell the film so I can get it out nationwide.
Okay, so from December to February, that's your goal. Just try to get it kind of updated and then out
Yes.
to sell. That's your final goal. Okay. Alrighty then. I will honestly be so honored to finally meet you in December in a couple of weeks, as a matter of fact. So I'm pretty sure you're excited about the whole entire event. Anything else going on besides your film? Because I know you got another film going on. So can we say anything about that, or do we have to kind of keep that on the
Um,
back end?
so right now that series is on Tubi. I have like 6 or 7 other films that I'm in. If you want to check out my films, they're on Tubi. We just dropped Dog's Life with Michael Ocho, um, and that's out on Tubi. We have The Legend of El Chupacabra that we shot. It's almost 2 years now with by Rob Mabry. Um, we had a whole bunch of San Antonio actors for that, as well as Austin actors. So a lot of talented people. We have a Last Radio Call, Town Full of Ghosts, if you like your horror films. And then I shot a film in Jacksonville, Florida called Albert Claude, and it's a dark comedy, super super funny. So if you want to see something kind of abstract and funny, Albert Claude's it's a really good film.
Now, I would be interested to know if you would ever think about maybe making, since you're part Cherokee and you're based in San Antonio, maybe something more towards the dark Hispanic past and our I know John Leguizamo's got a show out on PBS regarding what truly happened to our culture, how we've been assimilated into white society to the point that we're basically our heritage has been erased. And would you have are there any thoughts? I mean, especially since in San Antonio you've got all the actors there potentially for a film like that.
I have a couple designs that I'm sitting on. One is an immigrant story, but that's more modern times. And it's it would be a true life story of going through the struggle of crossing over the border and feeling the moments firsthand.
Of
Um,
course.
it's a really really complex story. I haven't gotten all the balls into place to kind of get that. Is take quite a bit of funding and then more connections than anything, because you're going to have to get through the border patrol, go to Mexico and film. But then I also have another film
Well,
that
if you come to the valley, that's pretty close, you know.
yeah.
Vete pa un rancho and it's pretty
Yeah, eventually, God willing, we can put something together. It's just it's time, it's time, and putting the effort behind the time. So, as long as this goes good, and then we track on to the next one, and the money comes in and allows growth. That's the biggest thing is finances and trying to get that growth together.
Well, we wish you all the success and all the best for you. And I believe in Hen Dog, what we're doing is, uplifting. We need to lift each other up and help each other out and, bring us to good light, all of us. And so, you know, I believe in what you're doing, and I'm proud of you for all of us. You're putting us in,
Thank you.
that you're doing something positive. Thank you for that.
Yes,
Well,
I
the
would say
biggest thing
that.
too is to give back to the community. Yeah, that's my heart is. I'm hoping one day that, especially within San Antonio, that everybody can come together and embrace each other, so we can actually put that star on the map the way that it needs to be, um, and cut out the division, because there's not a pedestal until we place the pedestal. Then everybody can take their turn on being on top of it. It's just
Exactly.
we got to build that pedestal together.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good one. Yep.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I would say this San Antonio is so diverse, and so much culture and religion is, not even to start that conversation. But and then also with, we're one of the biggest LGBTQ friendly as well. So that's another factor that comes into play when we start those conversations. So I would say this, it's a great honor to just know that you're right in front of us right now. We're speaking to you, and that you're trying to get this whole big message done. And I would say this, I appreciate it because I am born, raised San Antonio, and I keep saying this time and time again, our culture is dying out, whether it be little our music, our traditions. I've been one of the biggest ones to say Tejano is dying. I think I had this conversation too with Mr. Danny Farias, because I think he would be perfect to be sitting next to all of us right now on this, because he's
I
always saying
say
that.
it's not dying. I say it's an ICU. It
Yeah,
just
yeah.
needs
We're
some good IVs and some good
yeah. We're
injections.
we're nurturing it a little bit to come back to life, right? But I would say this, it's been amazing to know that some people get lost with, the backing of history. And if you're a big history buff, everybody says, oh, fiesta in San Antonio, but why do we have fiesta? It's based on a battle, it's based for
Yeah.
fighting for our land, type of thing. That gets lost in translation instead of just saying, it's for this. So I kind of thank you for even being a part of that uh, platform that says, you know what, this is just bigger than all of us.
Yeah.
So
Well,
thank you.
I look at it as, human first, and then just as us tribal people, we all need to pull together and really, I don't care if you're coming from a Bavarian tribe or an African tribe or, you know, an Aztecian tribe. Like, I'm one of those people that we all just have to pull together. As a native person, it's like you put out your left hand, you put out your right hand, and do your best to not to be connected to the person next to you. It's impossible because we all breathe air. We're all standing on this earth and we're all
Right.
connected. So there's no way that we're not connected. And as long as we can kind of relay that message and build back the trust within the human race, then get back to being human, then we'll be good.
Definitely, I so agree with you 100% there. So
There was a show on PBS a long time ago called Footprint of Man, and they actually researched everybody's DNA in the whole world. And they found that everybody has one base DNA coming out of one group of people in Tanzania, Africa. Everybody has that same DNA. Everybody. So look it up. It's there. And so we really are the same people. We really are. We just look a little different now. As they diversified and moved the people. Some people went into caves and they lost their melanin, so they became blonde and blue-eyed. And others went to Alaska where it was cold and they got shorter to conserve their heat and so on and so forth. But you are right. We are all the same. We
Well,
all some
I
of
look
those.
at it kind of like cats, right? You see a striped cat, you see a black cat, you see a calico cat. They're still a cat.
yeah,
Doesn't matter what color they are.
we all bleed the same.
That's right.
We all do.
If we can get
No,
back
we
to loving each other the way that it should be, in a respectful sense, then I think that the world will heal itself.
And all we can do is try. We put our part, and just keep on, doing what we're doing, and hopefully we'll get there. Geez, it's about time.
And one of the beautiful things is music is such a bond for that too. That is the universal language is music. So, you know, being that was one of the things is like I think I'm still healing from when Selena died. And when
Yeah,
you talk
we
about
all are.
you know falling away, we have new Selenas coming up, and we have some really really talented young artists coming out that are just amazing. I can't remember her name. There was a young lady that was doing some Selena songs, and I think she was from New Mexico. I can't remember her name, her
Is it
artist name.
Gabriela Martinez?
She is just amazing with her singing, and I was like, man, she's just the next big thing for the Hispanic culture and for the Latino music, and I can't wait to see this next alpha generation shine when it comes to music.
Yeah, and hopefully we're part of the process of putting them out there with my show Giras y Desveladas, with Hen Dog and his show New Mexico Radio Show. We're just trying to do our part so that there's never going to be another Selena, never. But maybe there's going to be another Gabriela or another I don't know, gosh, Letty or another I don't know Maritza or another I don't know whatever names, right?
I
But
still have faith in that. I still have faith that we are going to get Selena. I do.
well, I'm what I'm saying is the Selena package. I mean, she was a complete package, and because I've seen performers that, I mean, they just have the awesome voice, right? But maybe they don't have the stage presence. Then you have someone who has a stage presence, but they don't have the awesome voice. And Selena was just the total package. And like I said, not Selena, not her, but maybe somebody else that will match those qualities and endear the public like she did to put us back on the map again. So we can do is try and get everybody out there.
It's funny because so many people knock AB for being so hard, but if he wasn't so hard and taught her the way that he did, she wouldn't have been as great as she was. So I always give him as a father, you know, as putting that work into her as an artist and teaching her that professionalism to shine the way that she did.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. There was that trabajador mentality that we as a culture have, that to, forge forward and on.
Yeah, we also got another actor in the house, a La Máquina. We got Jose Gallo Cabrera Jr., all the way from Cine Mexicano en la Casas. A La
Saludos,
El
Jose
Máquina.
cine
Gallo Cabrera
mexicano.
Jr.
Welcome. Welcome to the talk show.
Bienvenidos al, what is it, el radio de Nuevo México. I did a good translation.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do some chopping screwed over here. We got
Se,
Maria
se los
Linda,
acabó el
Maybreeze, San
mexicano,
Antonio.
sorry.
Yeah,
Bienvenidos y buenas noches.
there you go. He says saludos. Short and sweet.
Es que se los acabó lo mexicano un poquito.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
that's definitely a place I haven't got a chance to work yet is New Mexico, and I've wanted to film out there for a while. Um, there's quite a few film actors that are friends of mine that are from New Mexico, and I would love to get the opportunity to work on a big production out there. So,
Hey, we're gonna
you
have to
know,
get you out of here, Kiki Suki, that we could come in and hang out at the Hint Dog. Well, I ain't got a mansion, bro, but you could come and hang out in my forte, man, and we could make sure you can have some. Well, I don't know if you're on a diet or not, but we can make sure you got some tortillas and frijolitos and asado. You know how us Mexicans over here do it over here in New
I'm
Mexico.
not trying
maybe
to
you can find me
discourage.
some fry bread up there.
I'm not trying to discourage you, Kiki, but they say behind that little black curtain, there's some aliens up in there. So just beware when you go up there. You might have that flight that's in 30 minutes. You're here. You never know.
Now, as an actor, you have to watch your diet. No, you look. What is it? I heard somebody saying that it's 10%. You look 10% bigger on the big screen. Hijo de su nombre. I'll never be on the big screen. Man.
Girl, what do you think we look like right now?
That's why we're on the little screen.
I'm like, can you go a little higher? Can we
I
go
look
to the
better if
right?
you check it out on my phone. So, I mean,
I
what is
think
your.
for me, outside of doing what I do, I run a personal training company. So it's a little bit easier for me because I do that as my main source of income outside of my acting. Um, being kind of like a celebrity trainer, working with different people. I've worked with different celebrities before, and then just myself, just putting myself out there. It was when I was a kid, my father was one of those prideful eaters. You know, he always was the guy that tried to eat everybody off the table. Like, oh, I can eat more than everybody. So I happened to see my father at 13 years old having a triple bypass surgery, and saw him cut down the center of his chest, laying on a bed. And I remember walking in to the hospital that day, seeing him that way. And my dad was such a strong man. Um, and I told myself that moment, I was like, I don't ever want my kids in the future to see me like this. So I promised myself that I would try to stay in shape the best I possibly could for the time that I have here on this planet. So that was my goal as a youngster to try to stay in shape because I didn't want that history to repeat itself.
Well, that's very admirable for you to do that. The taco always wins with me. Yeah.
I know. I'm admiring that right now because I just flashed a candy bar through this camera, so I'm
So,
no good. And the only reason I keep water, I don't even like water. I just want to make sure I can speak at this point. So, yeah, my
Well, it
admiration
also
is
helps
really up
too
there.
with the film industry as I do stunts and things like that too. So, I'm not getting any younger, so I've got to try to stay in shape so I can retain that youth a little bit as well too.
Brent Groves wants to say, "Don't let him kid you. Kiki Suki is an absolute beast as a film director." Well,
awesome.
thank you. We should have brought some of your actors on.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they would love to come on, and like I said, we really have some talented people on this film. This film, I'll be honest, like yeah, it was a great story, and I wrote a great story, but it would never have came to fruition without the talent of my cast. They really brought to the table for this film, and they haven't even seen this film. None
Oh,
of the cast have seen this film. So
I have a question because I know as you go, we can plan all day and every day, right? But as it goes, you also have that, certain things that an actor does that you're like, okay, that's gonna work, or you know what, it's a little better if we do it like this type of thing. What actor made you do so many changes, not knowing, like in your mind, you just okay, let's do it that way. Like which one of them was able to kind of change your taste or the play of it?
honestly, none, because as a director, before I even step on set, I have everything storyboarded.
Okay.
So I really have everything kind of already programmed into my head how it's gonna lay out. And being an actor, I can literally step in front of the frame and say, look, this is what I need from you. This is the emotion I need. This is the direction I need you to go. So I could place them where they need to be. And like I said, it was an unfortunate fact that I did have an actor that didn't follow through on his end of the deal. So I had to recast him. And I really hate having to do that, but at the same token, like when you're juggling other people's schedules and other people's time, you don't really have time to waste with people that are underprepared when they step on set. So that's kind of one of my musts as a director. When you step on set, I want you to be prepared, to be able to adapt to the situation, no matter how hard it is, if it's language or um, being a rough scene. And if you can't do that, don't audition for the film, um, because you're going to take away from the other people's time and effort.
Correct. Not just to mention, we're not saying money because money's a big factor of, you losing out. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
you
Well,
can
I
have
mean,
merch out
especially
there.
if
I
you're
see.
paid to be on set, right? Sorry.
I'm sorry.
If you're paid to be on set, like I feel like if you're getting something, I don't care if it's $5. If you're paid to be on set and doing a job, then you need to bring your A
Oh,
game.
yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. I agree
I
with
was
that one.
noticing your shirt. Is that part of your merch? You can have merch out there.
Yeah, well, not these specific ones. These are the ones I made for me and my executive producer, but we will have merch. Let me step out for a second. Let me grab one.
Oh, he's got some merchandise. Oh,
Well, that's a nice
But
shirt.
yeah, I got some shirts made up for the red carpet, so we will have some shirts there. We'll have small, medium, large, and extra large available. If you want to purchase a shirt to
hey,
represent
you
the
don't got
store,
my size, bro. I'm like a double X.
You're in
but
Texas,
we'll have to
Hey,
get
don't
something
tell
made
him.
up
He'll
for you,
put you on
Mr.
that
Hendon.
Trainer
We'll
King
work it
thing.
out.
No, Keek Suki's gonna say, "Hey, man, you're gonna have to get on my diet program because
That's what I'm
he's
telling
not here.
you.
He's a what
Save
do you call it, man?
yourself.
He's got his own
Maybe
weight
you're
training program.
maybe you're okay not coming to San Antonio. Now I don't know if I want to go to the premiere. I may have a treadmill on the red carpet. And just for
signing people
curiosity,
up, signing people up at the
am I
entrance.
right? So Kiki, how much are your shirts going for?
The shirts are 25.
And are they only available at the premiere? Do you have something online that we can look at?
No, right now it'll just be on for the premiere, and then eventually I will have these 3D shirts. These are 3D prints, so you can see the front and the back is the same.
Oh,
Oh, those are
nice.
pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's some nice
so I will
graphics.
have those available later on, but for right now, it's just kind of getting over the finish line with this red carpet for the cast and crew, so that they can see what they did. That was the biggest throwback on this, and then we fill as many seats as we can, so when we have our box office release, it's as high as we can. That's my goal with this, so that when we have the pitch deck ready to go, the viability is a lot better.
Great.
So every ticket that you buy for the movie helps out.
Well, everybody's invited in San Antonio and the surrounding area. I unfortunately I'm 4.5 hours away from there, so yeah, no. And I just came back. We were at the TTMA Awards, so but that was awesome though. And yeah, what you did mention about having maybe like combining Tejano music into or blending in some Tejano music into your films. Since you're in San Antonio, the Tejano universe.
And I would love for some Tejano artists to step up when we do the doll maker, because again, we will be adding in the Latino influence in that next film. And we are going to go back into time with a little bit of that. So there's going to be a crossover between the slave era to old Mexico and old San Antonio, um, where one of the Latino actors is going to help the slave escape from the property and plantation. So I'm looking forward to filming that and giving that side of the story and showing the love on that aspect.
Now you said you were a history buff, so how historically accurate is your timeline with your movie?
I would say we're about 80% accurate. There was maybe just some of the things of the background of like the horse rescue. There was like some of the fencings and stuff like that. There's no way I could take out. Um, but for the most part, when you see it, unless you're like dead set on saying, "Hey, that's not historically accurate," you're not. It's not going to affect you visually. Um, I think that again, the strength of the characters, the strength of the actors. I had another young lady on set that day, and I don't know what happened, but she didn't want to act anymore. She decided to step off set. So we had somebody literally come in, a Latina actress, fresh, barely. I think she did one other small project before. She stepped on set. She learned her lines in like 30 minutes. And this young lady, her name is Kimberly Abigail Kavanaugh, and she just put on this amazing performance and just took that role and just chewed it up and spit it out. And that scene, when you see her act in that scene, it's just like, wow, like it really takes you back in time in that one moment. There's some lines in that scene that's so powerful. It's harsh but powerful. But her facial expressions really sold it, and it just gave so much life to it.
How cool! I guess it was meant to be.
Yeah.
That's how God works. How awesome!
Look right here. We got a comment right here from Red Ray Music says, what is up, El Kiki from Red Ray Music
Hey,
in the
Ray
house.
Ray, we
Rev
need
Ray.
some of your music, brother, for my next film.
Uh-oh. Did you hear that, Red Ray? Uh-oh.
That's
Yeah, he's
it.
a great artist out there. Great guy. I actually met him through JJ when we're working on Gabriel Cremona's film King of the South, and he's part of that production.
Mm, that's cool.
We got a lot of big things coming here in San Antonio. I don't know if y'all know, but they're building or they already built it, a Paramount studio outside of Round Rock. And then Hill Country, the country club out there, they're building a studio out there as well. And we've got all these studios popping up all over Texas. So
Oh,
I
wow.
really do believe Texas is going to be the next Hollywood. They're moving down here.
That's
Texas is a right to work state, so you don't have to be union to work out here. So it allows lot of opportunity for the Texas actors to really blossom now. We have a local San Antonio girl that is working on, oh goodness, what is the name of that project? It's the one with Billy Bob Thornton and Demi Moore. But she just got booked on that, and she's the daughter of Demi Moore, and it's so amazing. I worked with her on a film called Cultress, and it's so amazing to see these young actresses. I mean, she was what, 14 when I met her, and and I
Wow.
think she's like 16 or 17 now, and to see her blossom is just amazing.
wow, how exciting. How exciting to have the uh tech Texawood, I guess. What would they call it? What would it be
Yeah,
called instead of
right.
Hollywood? Texawood,
We'll call it Spurwood or something.
right? That's Spurwood. Longhorn Wood. I don't know. Yeah, and that's really awesome. That's what I've been hearing. I mean, little by little, actors have been trickling in over here since back in the day, like in the '90s. We had what Robert Rodriguez there in Austin filming his
Hmm.
Spy Kids movie and stuff like that, and of course, what's her name with the Miss Congeniality. So I guess it's been slowly trickling in to the point where it's become a bigger thing there. That's awesome. That's awesome for us because we don't get to see any of that. And any aspiring actors in our community, don't have to move out to LA and try it out over there. Like I know several youngsters that went out there, to try their luck at acting. Some did make it, most did not. But you go out there and just try your luck, and now it's going to be here in Texas, so it's a little closer to home. That's awesome.
Well, my first film I did here in San Antonio was called Lowrider Weekend. It was an Ephraim production, and Jesse Borrego and Danny De La Paz was in that film. And I met Danny on set, and we kind of hit it off, and he was just like, "Hey, you want to be my bodyguard on the film? Keep all the people away from me, so I'm not bothered on set." And he was like, "I'll throw you a scene in the film." So it was like way back old San Antonio. We had a Seven Oaks Resorts out here, and Kid Frost came down from LA,
Wow.
and it was just some of the old San Antonio talent, some of the actors that were in the Broadway scene out here in the play community were in the film, and it was just so cool to work with those actors back in the day, and to be in this industry and work from, God, that was I think 1998 till now, and seeing the city grow and see the industry grow. It's amazing. You got people like Danny Ramos doing big things, and it's great to see.
Yeah, it is. It's inspiring for, especially like we mentioned, us as Latinos. Do you identify yourself as a Latino or Hispanic? Because you've got the Cherokee and the Hawaiian and the Japanese. I mean,
I always look at it right, as they say, like Hispanics and Native Americans were one and the same is the way I look at it. We're all tribal people. We all come from the same type of roots and the same type of upbringing. So I honestly I don't see cultural difference. I've been that way my whole life, and I just think it's a lot of times when people are uneducated or they play dumb to a situation is because they're uneducated or they're afraid. And I've never been afraid. I see people. I feel you wake up in the morning. You wake up with love in your heart and you're a good person, or you wake up wanting to kill somebody and you're an evil person. I think it's that simple.
wow, powerful. I guess. Yeah. Now I'm starting to think, how do I wake up in the morning?
Very
No, but
well
you're right.
stated.
Yeah, but especially here in Texas, I mean, and most of the southern area down to California, that we didn't cross the borders. The borders crossed us, so we we stayed here. We didn't move anywhere. We didn't cross any river. We were here. Our families were here, and so who knows? Even if we, let's say, how would we know? I wouldn't know if I have Cherokee blood or anything like that, because it was
Well, even before the Great Divide, with it being Mexico and the Americas, it was all tribal factions. You had the Navajos here, you had the Apaches here, the Comanches on one side. So it was a tribal America, and people can break it down however they want, but like the tribal community ruled in America before the Caucasian settlers came over. So in my eyes, anybody that's trying to stake claim on America and saying, oh, well, it was America first this or America first that, well, they're just kind of blind and ignorant to the fact that, we were one nation before it was a nation under God, unfortunately, when it was written in that way. And, I'm a firm believer of faith, but at the same token, like, there was principalities that were put into place even for us Native Americans, the Papal Bull of 1863, where Native Americans weren't even labeled as human beings; we were just savages. So,
yeah,
like, I
savages.
look at things like that as is we're past that. We're in a new America, something that we can be proud of. We can walk down the street with multiple races around us and just be ourselves. And that great divide is unnecessary.
I fully agree. I fully agree. That is so awesome that you're saying that, because that's where we need to be. We are, like you said, we're at this end of the day, celebrate who we are, what we're doing, celebrate our culture, celebrate our arts, especially our
Of
arts, our
course.
music, you know, our music especially, because that identifies us more than anything else. And we are unique. We are unique than anybody else out here. And that's what I have to say. That's all I got to say about that.
Well, no, I just want to say thank you to all our fans, all our listeners out there, and all the fans that support our listener, Kiki Suki, and if I want to put this out there real quick for you guys, man. I want to put this little clip out there that Kiki Suki sent me the other day, man. He sent it to me as soon as I set up the interview. He's always so quick with sending the pictures for the flyers, sending me the little snippets of what he's got going on for the shows or what he's got going on for his films. He's so quick at so much because this guy is so talented, man, and he's just so quick at doing things. I'm just going to take a little short commercial break for you guys, real quick, all right? And it goes a little bit of something like this.
Story is called Mr. Marbles. No, no! I got a story for you. We'll talk about your daddy another time.
How's my favorite historian?
If you ever drown me,
Are you meaning that friend, Mr. Marbles?
A doll made of hay and straw. Like story, children.
Oh, no mas, man.
Woo!
Man, I just
That's a
wanted to
nail
see
biter.
this movie, man. Man, Kiki, I want to see this movie so bad, man. Just being able to see that, man, it just wants me to check it out, man. And just all the work behind it, man. I just want to congratulate, just yourself and just everybody, your team, your casting and everybody, everybody that works behind it, man, like your crew, because it's not easy, man, to get a good casting crew and to put everything together, man. So congratulations once again on putting all this together, man. Congratulations.
Well, I appreciate it. And thank you
I
for
want to
showing love.
I want to ask last and final for me is what takeaway or what advice do you give to the new and up and coming new artists, new up and coming directors? Because it seems to me like in the industry, you have the actors, producers, and then rising up to directors and so forth. So, what advice do you have for them?
Um, my biggest advice to everybody is when you create something from your heart. Don't do it for the fame. You can spend your whole life chasing fame, but fame you can't choose fame. Fame chooses you. But if you do it for the artistry, you do it for the love of the craft of what you're doing, you never lose. And eventually hard work pays off. So if you just keep grinding and put your passion behind what you're doing, nothing can stop you. And even if you don't hit the mark that you wanted to, I always think of one of the big quotes that Denzel Washington says: if you're going to try something or try something and fail, you might as well try as big as you can and fail big, because at least if you fail big, you did something worth failing for. So
Great.
I really believe in that quote, and I think that that's a very powerful, strong quote. And I kind of lead by that type of example.
And very well stated. Extremely well stated. Thank you.
Great
Wow,
question.
Kiki. That is a good question right there, Mel. That is a good one right there. Well, Kiki Suki, I do want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. And once again, man, congratulations on this amazing directed film, man. And I know it's going to be off the chain on December the 7th, man, at City Base Cinema in San Antonio, Texas, man. I know you're going to get a lot of people. I know you got a lot of support. You know, you got our support from the New Mexico Radio Talk Show. That's why we support you. That's why we love having you on our show. So don't ever, 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 ever think that we don't support you, because we do. So if there's anything you got going on, no matter what time it is, Kiki, you can call me. You got my number. You have my contact. You have me on Facebook. You have me all over. You can call me at any point in time if you want to bring anybody on the show um for your next upcoming shows. All right, we're here for you guys. That's what we love to do. We love to support our cultura, our culture. That's what we love to do. And I know Gigi La Chicana with her show, that's what she loves to do as well. So I don't know, she'll be contacting you after tonight's show or maybe tomorrow to bring you on her show. All right. So Kiki, is there
Absolutely.
anything that you would like to say to your family, to your production crew, to everybody? Is there anything you'd like to say to anybody before we head out, Kiki?
Um, Thank you. First and foremost, thank you for standing by me, standing with me, uh, sticking with me through all this movement of the film industry. And look out, because we have so much more coming over the horizon. And I just want to make sure that the community knows that this isn't for me. This is for the talented people that put their heart and soul behind this, and this is for everybody that's watching behind the screen.
Once again, Kiki Suki out of San Antonio, Texas, film director of this amazing, amazing movie, Mr. Marbles, man, is going down December the 7th. Be sure to go check him out at City Base Cinemas. It's going to be going down in San Antonio, Texas. Looking forward to seeing you guys out there. I know my cast and crew will be out there. Melon Brego, Mary Ellen. I know Veronica Chapo is going to try to be out there as well. Gigi's going to try to go out there as well. I want to say thank you to everybody checking out with you guys. God bless you guys. Kiki, thank you so much, brother. Have a good weekend. Have a good Thanksgiving, Kiki, if I don't see you. And have a good Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Kiki. And God bless you. And see you soon, Kiki Suki.
I will
Yes,
see
thank
you
you
soon,
guys.
Kiki.
Feliz Navidad, and you guys, thank you all. You're amazing, and looking forward to bringing this to you guys at the finish line when you guys get it out to distribution. You guys get to see it. So
Awesome.
Hey, we
God
appreciate
bless you
everything
and
you're
God
doing,
Yes.
bless
Kiki.
what you're doing.
I will see you
thank you
soon.
guys so much.
That's right. Kiki Suki, man, talented filmmaker, film director, movie actor, man, has been in business since 98 a la máquina. That just tells you how long he's been in business, man. That's as old as I am, all right? So big shout out to Kiki Suki. That's
I
30
I
years
would.
ago, all right?
Mm, Let's not talk about age. Come on now.
That's about
Um,
30 years ago, guys. 30 years ago. But I want to say thank you
Thank you
to
for the
Keek Suki.
rubbing. Thanks for rubbing it there, hen dog. Thank you for rubbing in on that.
I
Uh,
want to
I
take this. Oh, go ahead. No.
I want to say my admiration for him because in this industry to be so forward, I mean, stated very well, the multicultural here and um, gender and all that. I mean, you got all kinds. And then I'm pretty sure it's not just in San Antonio, right? But
Exactly.
I do live in San Antonio and I get to see a lot of it. And,
Of course.
I will say this: my admiration for Kiki even more to know the backing and how he is as a person. So we all are true people. We don't, we all believe the same. But I just have to say that my admiration for him, and I do look forward in meeting him as well. So
I want to thank you, Hen Dog, and thank you, Mel, for allowing me on this show. And
mm,
I didn't know what to expect. I all I've all I've done is music artist. Me, hello, Hiras y Desveladas. But so this
you
was
know,
new to me.
you know what, Gigi? And
Mande.
I will say this, not because I've been here a long time or I air so many times or nothing. Like I would say this, just be yourself. It's a little different when you're walking around and stuff. When I go to events, I mean, you're cordial and I know you are the same way. I've been in meetings with you, girl. So you know what? You're such a joy and a delight to have and very open. So girl, you're fine. You're all right.
Well, I
If
appreciate it.
anybody says anything, is I said it. Not that I'm
Thank
anybody.
you. No, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this experience and getting to know Kiki Suki. And look, I had no idea about his movie or who he was. And now, I mean, and now I'm better for this now.
Educated.
I know more. I feel more
I'm
in the
not gonna
loop.
lie. I'm not a person that can sit on a horror movie, but I'm gonna have friends there, so
Well, he said it was not that bad, so I'm gonna take
I
his word
won't.
on it and say it wasn't that bad. Maybe it's just like a little
Exactly.
cucuy, just a little cucuy.
I'm gonna be like this. Marilena Boteo, I hope you're listening, girl. You better be right next to me.
No, but I do want to say thank you to y'all beautiful ladies, man. Yeah, I do have some awesome questions, and it's just doing homework, and everybody just everybody has awesome questions for these guys and our guest, and I just want to say thank you to our proud sponsors, TJF Talent Studios, Mr. JJ and Terry Fernandez out of TJF Management out there in San Antonio, Texas. Hen Dog Promotions, Hen Dog Entertainment, and also La Huera Promotions out there, San Antonio, Texas, and everybody checking in. Paul and Jessica, which is our managers of the New Mexico Radio Talk Show. Larry and Linda, who is the owners of the New Mexico Radio Talk Show, and our beautiful moderator, who's been with us the whole entire time, Rita Castillo out of California, has been with us the whole entire time, making sure the comments are coming in clean for you guys. And big shout out to everybody, all our new listeners. Our new, I want to give a couple of shout outs real quick before we head out. Rev Ray, also para I know we had a new one out there from Mexico. We had Brent Groves out there checking in with us. We had Jose Gallo Cabrera checking in with us. We had Maria Linda checking in. We had a lot of people checking in with us. I do want to say thank you, Norma Salazar. We had a lot of people. We had Hilda Pena checking in with us. I do want to say thank y'all guys so much for checking in with us. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, if I don't see you guys before Thanksgiving, yeah, guys, on behalf of all the staff here, New Mexico Radio Talk Show headquarters, you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll see you guys next week. And have a wonderful weekend.
Happy
Anything,
Thanksgiving,
ladies?
you
Anything,
guys.
Happy
ladies?
Thanksgiving.
Oh
Happy
yes, yes, I do.
Thanksgiving.
I got a couple of things. Sorry, because this weekend was like a no, I can't say that word because it's gonna be translated different. But anyways, so I want to say a shout out to Jeannie B. I got to see her perform. Awesome performance, girl. I want to say that's her next Selena too. Sorry, but I had to say that. The
I
Arcos
had the name in the tip of my tongue. I
is
meant
it
to
Jenny
say
B?
yes.
Jenny B, yes. And New Mexico Way to Talk Show, I promise you, I will be tagging you on some awesome performing clips. I promise you today. If not today, in the morning, I promise.
All
And the
right, I got
Arcos
you,
as
girl.
well, I got to see them for the Toys for the Tejanitos for their awesome support along with Puro Pedo, Vivian Torres, and Hilda Pena. It's a bunch of us out there. So I just want to give a shout out to them. And last but not least, Mr. Mario Moreno Band. He was so great this weekend as well. I know I'm in San Antonio and I get to get awesome events to attend. Please keep them coming, people. Tag me. I'll announce your events. I'm all about the children. I'm all about giving. If I can show up and do a meet and greet for you or whatever, I'm in when it comes to kids. My heart is there. The world is already corrupted as much as it is. We don't need any more messiness. So I just wanted to do that shout out. And the other one, Keek Suki, on December 7th. We will be there, the Texas team. Hopefully, I don't know how many of us will be there. December the 11th, I'll be at the Guadalupe Avenida with the Arcos, Los Phoenix, and some other awesome artists that'll be out there. And then December the 14th, we'll be at the Grasshopper with the United for Kids Toy Drive. And I will have a personal booth that will also be giving certain some of the proceeds will go on to.
Yeah, me cansé with everything that you're doing, Mel.
Sorry, girl. But we got a lot going on in San
You
Antonio.
got a lot going on,
Holy
man.
moly, Mel, you got a lot of stuff going on for the New Masquerade Talk Show. That's right,
I
man.
do, I do. And you know what? You guys get to see it. Like, even though I just come in and out, I try to get as much as I can going on and stuff. But happy Thanksgiving to all. God bless. And I will say this to the Candelera family. Thank you for everything you do, because it's not just Hen Dog, it's everybody, it's the behind scenes type of thing. So God bless.
Aliens, you
Happy
said they're
Thanksgiving.
behind the thing.
Oh,
Aliens,
I don't know. Should we say thank you to the aliens in the back too?
behind the screen.
Yeah. But,
Y'all are too
yes,
much,
thank
man.
you.
Y'all are too much. Once again, ladies, you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If I don't see you guys before the weekend, you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. On behalf of all of us, once again, thank y'all. God bless, and see you guys next week. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
A dusty old mansion down in a Texas town. There's a doll that's been lurking around, made of hay and straw and a slave's blood too. It's possessed by a spirit, malevolent and true. Mr. Marbles, an evil slave doll, brings terror those who dare to call. Was created to seek revenge, and he won't stop until the bitter end. The slave who made him, well, he was wrong. Yeah, the spirit in the dawn, well, he was strong. Now he seeks revenge on the slave owner's kin.